So that's what I'm going to explore and investigate, the nature of my relationship to the buyers of my work and my relationship to attracting people to me. So I'm going to close my eyes because this is going to help and do a kind of question-answer situation. But first I'm just going to put myself into a slightly deeper state. All right, I'm entering a room, and in the room are going to be many clues and objects and images which are all about this subject of my relationship to other people and attracting them in towards me. So to buy my products, to want what I have to offer. Just going into the room now. I'm now in the room. I'm just going to count down 3, 2, 1 in the room. Okay, so I can just see I've got one of Ariel Ali's portraits in front of me, and it looks really tall and big, like it's imposing and high up on the wall. In a kind of basilica setting. It looks kind of really important. Okay, it's very beautiful. It has a black face and a kind of rainbow halo, like a halo with very beautiful, almost like a lotus blossom kind of image and layers of rainbow. So I can see that image, which is interesting. I might draw that later. I'm not sure what that means. I'll just touch it and find out what it is. Touching it, 3, 2, 1, touch. It's an inner being, is it? Let's just touch it. Whose inner being are you? Yours. Okay, so I have, that's funny. All right, I kind of look like I've got Maasai neck. That's funny with the gold ringlet bracelets going up. I just touch it again. I just want to talk about, I want to check out the genetic heritage of this being and check whose it is. I'm just going to touch it. 3, 2, 1. Alpha Centauri. I'm not sure about that answer. It doesn't feel, I'm not convinced. I'm going to again touch the this image of this being and ask the question of its genetic heritage, who it is, what is the nature and origin of your DNA. I'm going to touch it. 3, 2, 1. Previous generations, but you're also saying the word Nephilim. Well, that could be because it's floating around in my head recently. Okay, is it, let's take charge here. Who do you work for? The police. What kind of police? The police of the galaxy. All right. Are you, what's your relationship to me? 3, 2, 1, answer. I command you to answer what your relationship is to me. 3, 2, 1, now. Servant. All right. That sounds rather strange. I don't have servants. I'm going to just put you in a cage just for now, like a gilded electric fence around you just for now. Separate yourself off from me for now. You're now fenced off. I'm just going to walk around the room and see what other objects I see in there that are going to give me information. Just going to walk to my right. There's a shield on the wall with Fleur de Lys. Okay, I don't see, that's very interesting. Okay, I think I need like a spray that I can spray at objects. And when I spray this on the objects, they reveal their true identity. So I'm just going to take that spray. I've got my spray in my hand. Just going, it's a kind of white spray. It's a crystalline powder spray, actually. I'm going to go back to that original character. And spray it all over you so I could say, oh, right, you look like an old draconian. I don't know what you're doing here. I'm just going to open a portal and you can go. It's no business. It's a dinosaur. Go away. Go out. And zip that back up. Okay, yeah, nothing in there. Right, thank you. There is something in there in the alcove where there was as a crystal. Let's just touch it, find out its truth, its origin. 3, 2, 1, touch. It has a sound. Now that happens to be one of my key notes, so that's interesting. That's popped up into this room. I'm just going to go over to that shield now and spray my spray and see whether it is in its true form or it's hiding something. 3, 2, 1, spray. A lion. There's a lion, a red and gold lion painted on a white background. Okay, so phelinoid. All right, so far we've had a Draco, a reptoid, one of the dinosaur type ones. We've had a phelinoid there. Okay, all right, very well. But let's find out what else is in this room, which has the information all about my relationship to people listening to me, people wanting what I have to offer, people finding and wanting and using and buying what I have to offer. Okay, I'm just going to slowly walk around. So we go from the 12 o'clock position to the 1 o'clock. That's where this phelinoid shield is. What's at the 2 o'clock position? A small symbolic tree in a kind of tree of life sort of pattern. Let's just touch that. I'm going to use my magic spray. We find out what that is. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. The gem of eternity. Okay, well, that seems to be like an endless story of life. Is that right? I'm just going to touch it and find out what its information is. Unlocking information from the past. All right, okay, thank you. And you've got a little key there in front of it. That's useful. All right, I may come back to that. Let's go to the 3 o'clock position in the room. This is essentially a kind of squashed circular room. What is there in front of me at the 3 o'clock position? I'm going to use my spray again. I'll spray. 3, 2, 1. Some kind of black demon type, sort of spidery type, strange sort of symmetrical two-headed thing. It's like a two-headed raven, very ugly indeed. I'm just going to touch it to find out what its DNA is. 3, 2, 1, touch. Yeah, well, you're not a nice being. I'm just going to put you in a portal. I can still extract information from you if you need it, but for now I'm just going to unzip, go in there, zip it up, and if I need to get information from you, I'll come back to you. Okay, let's go to the 4 o'clock position. I'm going to take out my magic spray and see what is there. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. It's like a pretty Madonna figure with a pregnant belly, and she has a circlet around her head. She looks like a medieval figurine with blonde hair and a blue dress. I'm just going to go and touch and find out what in fact she is. 3, 2, 1, touch. Still stay the same thing. Okay, what are you? What are you symbolically representing? Destiny, you're saying destiny, whatever destiny is. Destiny, that's a strange thing, okay? What do you have to information to bring in at this moment? Destiny, tell me, what information do you have? 3, 2, 1. The voice, it's the voice which cuts through into the other ethers. The voice has sound frequency. Yes, I know that. I'm aware of my voice sound frequency. There's something pushing in it. Yes, all right. Okay, I may come back to you. Thank you. Go to the 5 o'clock position now. I'm going to get my magical crystal spray out that reveals what is there. Ready? Turning at the 5 o'clock. 3, 2, 1. That wasn't clear. Let's do it again. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. All right, same thought. It's like a piano keyboard, piano image in a half circle. Let's just touch it and find out what it. Information on you. What are you? What is it? What is this? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Reading a book. Let's have a look. Look in the book. Many pages of information, lots of storage of information. Looks quite colourless, this information, lots and lots of files. Okay, is there any particular interesting file which is specific to this information of people buying or not buying my products that I create? Okay, there's one file. Cool. Okay, when I spray the spray on it, we'll be able to look inside it. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's open it. Can we read in here? Hereditary systems, flatlining, sister, taking stance, attention removed from subject, subject not responding well to treatment, subject not able to express, subject in. Okay, so this seems to be a report. Just hold the report. Who wrote this report? Ready? 3, 2, 1. The mother field, well, that was reptilian dominated. Again, I'm just going to burn this report because all that is just from past conditioning and it's not my true nature. So just put it into a little fire. Great. Okay. I'm looking now for the real information of my actual soul presence, my soul essence, the absolute being of myself. Is there a file on that in this section here? 3, 2, 1. When I spray, it will reveal itself. Good. Okay, take out the little green file. Right, we're going to open this. We put out the pages on a desk that's just appeared in front of me. Let's take out the first page. What does it say on it? 3, 2, 1. Blessed. Rainbows sparkle. saturation, civilization, centrification. I don't think I'm really reading that properly. Let's see if we can get a better reading on the pages. Okay, I'm just going to hold my hands on the pages and I'm going to speak what they say. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. This is a synthesis of ancient information that has come down through several generations of your party heritage. We're talking about the conglomeration of elements of your soul, the chain of, and this is a library collection of different events from your present and future and past, events of your timelines and circumstances. Blah, 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 blah. We who wrote this believe ourselves to have an interest in this person. We are witnesses to their life and we have studied it. Okay, well, that just looks like someone's written something about me. I'm actually looking for information that I have given about myself, actual true information coming from myself. So I'm going to leave that number 5. We're going to now number 6 in the room. Just turn and see if we can find more information that's going to clarify this. Ready, and get my spray out. 3, 2, 1. This time it's a little crystal cabinet, quite a tall one with lots of little shelves, and I have a key. My necklace, my bracelet, bracelet, the key. So I'm just going to turn the key in the lock, open it up, and in front of me there is a little bowl with a little egg, an egg shell. I can open it up. It has like a brass center screw mechanism. So I'm just going to open it up. I've now got 2 halves of an egg, and inside is just like a whole lot of light confetti in like little rainbow shards just jumping out. That's interesting. That's rather beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful image that is. I'm just going to describe it a little more. So these are light codes of pieces of rainbow. You know, when you see a rainbow refracted in rain, not in the sky, but like in a puddle or bits of water, and you get that kind of ripple rainbow, like a little slither of that. And there's lots and lots and lots of these sort of jumping, springing out of this little magic egg. Is it too precious? Should I close it and look after it? Or is it, let's just have a little look. It's self-renewing. Okay, it's a self-renewing. I don't know how that happens, but it's a self-renewing system. I'm just going to put my finger in it and feel what it is, the nature of this. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. This is information light code sourcing of the essence of being, a being, the elemental building blocks of existence, which is color, light, sound, vibration, frequency. Now, if you have active vibration of this kind, which is potent, this seems to be quite bouncy and spirited. Hang on, there's just something in the background. Seems to want to get into the picture, but I think I'll just keep that away for now. It was a kind of Halloween-like skull. I'll just put that on one side for a moment. I just want to ask about the purpose of these beautiful little rainbows. So I just got this egg with these bouncing little rainbows coming out of it in my hands. So tell me, what is the essence and purpose and use of this? Ready? Give me the answer after 1. 3, 2, 1. This is a written document in the light language of color, and you can read it by seeing the changes and shifts in the movements. The document is a song of your essence, and it is a very light, flowery, delicate, but never diminishing essence. There is a kind of soft billowing bubble. That's the words that come to my mind. Goodness knows where I'm getting the B words, but anyway, to it. This is like a joyful overflowing of the inner essence All right, thank you. I'm just going to close that for now. It feels like a good time to do it. Hold it in the palm of my hand. It feels, so I'm just going to talk, ask the egg. It seems like it would be a good idea to actually keep it and have that. I'm going to have that. I'm going to put it in my pocket. And this is a very safe pocket that it can't escape. I have a special kind of a zip. Zip, close the zip. This is now sort of in my system. So I've got this special sort of never-ending source of this beautiful rainbow light filament codes information and the kind of effervescent brightness that it exudes from it in a continuous manner, should I need that. Thank you. Okay, that's very lovely. I'm going to turn to number 7 in the turning around of the room. And let's see what we have here. Let's do the spray. I've got some more of the spray. I'm going to just spray it lightly into the air. 3, 2, 1. So here I've got a staff with a mitre on the top, kind of like a bishop's mitre, and the staff is sort of a cross, and there seems to be a sort of serpent wound around the apse of this, so the cross part, so it forms a kind of an X on the cross with this mitre at the top. It's strange because it's sort of religious, dogmatic symbolery. Just going to touch this and find out what it is. Information ready, and 3, 2, 1, touch and reveal yourself. What are you? Ready, and 3, 2, 1. This information is a staff of conjuring and of influence. This was a part of your family gifted to you from long before, and you have kept it secret and safe and not used it. It has its affiliations with other objects of power in the past and with other species of humans which you know have been used and abused, and therefore you've kept it at bay. It has a dark colour which has also kept you away from it. I feel there is something now which can be done to activate, to reinvigorate, to shift and change the polarity of this object so that it becomes something of beauty and use and love, of rejoicing, of unfolding abundance, and basically a path to joy discovery, a path to so when this implement is used, when we transfer the energy, shift the polarity, it will become that which creates and enhances and enlivens and encourages. And even just the words that I'm saying, as I say them, what I'm actually saying is that the dark metal is turning into, essentially, it's some of these light codes. I'm seeing like a connection now from the little egg in my pocket. It's like emanating out a kind of resonance frequency, which is sort of hitting the molecules, let's say, of the staff and shifting them from this dark metal into lines, bars and brightnesses of these kind of rainbow molecule particles that we were looking at before, these kind of strands of rainbow. So let's just do that actively. I'm just going to stand the staff in front of me, and after the counting down from 3 to 1 and blowing out a breath, I'm going to see the regeneration, the transfiguration and the repolarization of this staff into an essence of love, goodness, upliftment, unfolding, enjoyment, encouragement, inspiration and greatness. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. And of course now the symbols have changed. So the snake is now a figure of 8. In fact, there is a figure of 8, and it's even like an Escher figure of 8. There is a kind of, it's like a 4-sided piece, making the 8, but it's twisted. It's so like toroidal. It has a toroidal twist to this figure 8. So it's sort of a never-ending 4-sided piece, which is set as the cross apse to this staff, which is starting to become very, very bright kind of rainbow light filaments. And on the top, of course, instead of the mitre there is now a very beautiful, I suppose it's a lotus blossom actually. It looks kind of like a lily, almost like a rose actually, but it's more of a, it sort of is slightly changing from the classical symmetrical lotus blossom that we see throughout imagery in the eastern parts of religion, different symbols there out there, to a sort of an organic. And when I look down on the top of it, because I can just do that, I can just levitate up a little bit, look down, there is a slight, it's not totally symmetrical. There is a lovely organic quality, which is something I love very much. So not every single petal is the same, it's slightly different, and that's what makes it beautiful. And the whole thing, now the figure of 8 has gone into a kind of gold white, which is rather beautiful, very shiny, bright, yummy. I have to draw this. And it now is like when you have on bonfire night, you have these kind of sparklers, and you can spring them around, you know, in like a figure of 8, and you get these beautiful shapes in the dark nights of November the 5th. You get this sparkler light shooting off. In a way, that's sort of what the light here around this looks like. I'm now going to, I can take it. I'm just going to stretch out. I actually use my right arm, which is strange because I'm left-handed, but that's because I kind of got my left hand looking after the this magical little rainbow egg, which is rather beautiful. These are quite interesting tools, I must say. So the right hand on the staff, and interestingly enough, the mitre hat that was originally on the staff seems to be on my head at the moment. I'm not sure if I like that idea of the mitre hat on my head. I've got this beautiful shiny staff, but let me just touch that. 3, 2, 1. I want the truth and the information of this hat, which seems to be on my head. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. This is a tool. It is a tool in use by many, many religious sects. It was a use of power, but it also symbolized the fish, the water, the blessing, the divide of the water from the land. This is something used to symbolize power and majesty, but it was used as a symbol of knowing. So you can change it to any form you like. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it to I've always wanted to have slightly thicker, more lustrous hair. So right now, I'm just going to take the energy of this mitre hat and I'm going to convert it. So I always have my hat on, the energy of this, but I'm going to just convert it. So just right now, I'm going to take all of this energy of this extraordinary sort of hat, which is now my head because it's been activated from this rainbow pure light of colour, through more of my essences coming into the process. And we're just going to allow that to go into every single follicle cell on my head where I have hair, and we're going to allow it to, it's going to penetrate quite like rainbow light actually. Oh, I can already feel it start to tingle on my head. That's lovely. And we're just going to absorb that energy into every single hair follicle on my head, all around. So from the top of my head near the edge of my face, I can feel it spread across the top of my crown or my fontanelle, over towards the tops of the ears. It's moving towards the back crown of the head, down over the sort of the large bump of the skull and tuck under. And there's a little bit of hair I have just slightly down the nape of my neck and just around the back of the ears. All of those follicles, let's just breathe in. We're going to do, I'm going to count down from 3 to 1. And when I do that, all of that energy will be absorbed and will go back into the hair follicles and will actually regenerate it. Also, I actually want some of that energy to go through the back of my head and into the nerve cells of my teeth to be regenerating. There's a great possibility of teeth actually creating new layers of dentine and enamel. That is actually possible. You just have to rewire the code to remind the teeth, the nerves, and the placement of the teeth in the nerves where the original DNA signals were sent from. to start regenerating and growing. So I'm going to do my countdown a little bit slower so you can feel it absorb into all of those hair follicles on my head, which I'm already starting to feel, and into every single root of my teeth in my mouth. So let's just get ready and ready. 3, 2, 1. That's a very nice feeling as the energy descends in there. We're just going to let it settle in and just fix itself in there, so it does it's able to create this regenerative process. You may hear the way that my voice sounds a little bit different because of the way I'm aware of my teeth, the nerves in them, and I can feel my head. In fact, it even makes a little high pitch tingle, as I can hear it tingling through all of those follicles, and the nerves of the scalp are getting kind of really stimulated. You know, when you go to the hairdresser and you have hair dye put on your head and the chemicals are working through that and you feel that kind of twiggling across your scalp, it's kind of similar to that. Just going to count. We're going to go from 11 down to 0 and just let that process sit. Ready, and 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now fixed in. Thank you. Locked there. Thank you. Lovely. Okay, let's just have a look at number 8. I now have the staff in my right hand with me. In fact, we're just going to quickly shrink it in to a miniaturize, just like we encased the egg into my system. We're going to put that staff into my right hand, and it's actually inside my hand now. Like the Egyptians, they're often shown with an ankh on their hand. In my case, the staff, which is a representation of that, with the beautiful flower and the figure of 8, the crossbar and the stave with this rainbow light, that is now in there in my hand, and it's ready to be used whenever I wish to use it. So just have a look at the number 8. I'm already feeling actually quite more energized because I was yawning a lot. I may still yawn, but I feel much more bright, alert and awake than I was, and you can probably now hear that in my voice. So let's just go to number 8, which is, oh, that's nice. I'm just going to get my magical spray because it does help, but I just saw a golden door, so we're just going to have a look. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this one is it's a little cupboard, a little cabinet with sort of embossed gold. I'm not sure if it's wood covered in gold plate or gold leaf. I think it's wood covered in gold leaf because I do love things made of wood and the beautiful smoothness. But this one has been covered in gold leaf. Feels like I want to make one of those. But anyway, very beautiful. It's very tactile. Really, I want to just touch it. It looks slightly like an ancient sort of Buddhist temple. It's got these little kind of pagoda-like corners at the top, and so the door is 2 parts, and there are these little raised, it's relief, and it's like a series of kind of bubbles, but in a symmetrical design. It's sort of an abstract design, to be honest, a bit like if you took a few drops of water and then you symmetrically patterned the picture, that would be that. So I'm just going to open the cupboard. I'm just going to put some gloves on because I feel like a little precaution might be needed. So I can use my spray and just spray on. It's very, when I just even had the thought of it, I've got this like kind of rainbow sparkles, like crystalline spray on gloves. Okay, so I'm just I've got these rainbow sparkle spray on gloves. That's really fun, hilarious. Love it. Okay, I just open it. Now inside is a little creature. What is that creature? I said a mouse. That was the first thought that I saw, but it's not a mouse. Let me just have a look. It is a furry creature. It seems to have quite a large mouth on it. Quite sharp teeth. That's probably why I needed the... Right, I'm just going to touch it. I'm not going to pick it up yet. There's still something. And funnily enough, the inside of this cupboard is just quite humble. It's just painted in like a really dark, like a Phoenician red, almost sort of a colour, painted on the wood, like some Tibetan cupboards are painted, in fact, like that. So I'm just going to touch this creature. It has sort of a golden kind of a fur look to it, and find out what it is. Ready and breathe. 3, 2, 1, and what are you? Tell me. I command you to give your information to me that I may know what you are. Essence of liberty. Essence of liberty. That's not enough information. I require more information. Ready and 3, 2, 1. Purposefulness, expression, ability to express, allowance of expression, tigration. Sounds like being fierce to me. So you've got a soft, let's just have a look at you. I just want to get some more of that spray. I can use my left hand to spray that. Okay. Yeah, so you've got this soft fur. Let's have a look at your face. You don't really have eyes as such. You just have this big mouth with lots of teeth and little tiny ears. That's quite an interesting character. I don't really like you. You don't seem to be friendly because something's just all fur with a big mouth. I feel like there's something else behind you. Okay, so I'm just going to just touch you again and tell me about your genetic heritage. Where have you come from? What are you? Ready? 3, 2, 1, and you, what brought to me by an insular character. This is not part of me. This is a piece of a character from a story that I have kept in the cupboard for safety, for use. It's to be brought out in necessary moments when a bit of biting is needed. The fur keeps it secret and then it does a little bite just to tell people to go away. Oh, hilarious. Now, do I actually need this for myself? Is there any actual true use for my soul purpose in this thing? Ready? 3, 2, 1, and tell me. You are of use in situations where you are in a tight pinch. Okay, I understand. Like recently I had that. It's quite useful to have a shout out when necessary. Yes, and in fact, it could be quite useful to keep a little bit more active. You're saying if I hold my staff, I won't need it, though. That's true, because the staff is a certain... The staff, let's just pick the staff up and hold it in front of me. Well, just in my right hand, but in front of me. When I hold this, I've got this bright rainbow light kind of emanating from it, and therefore around me, it's sort of trailing through my etheric field. And it means that actually I'm far more approachable, even though it's extraordinarily powerful. There is a kind of magnetism to it. That's the interesting thing about it. Because it's rainbow light, it has a soft appeal to it. It's like an irresistibility. So in fact, I don't really have the need to have the little creature with the barking sharp teeth, because the people who come to me will be, as soon as they come within range of that instrument, this very powerful staff, I can feel it kind of zipping up my heart, kind of almost like a cup of coffee would do. That it actually, what happens is it transforms the energy. So it's like a disarmer. That's interesting. It's like a Doctor Who sonic screwdriver is what it is. That's very interesting. So I feel like I can send this little creature back. I'm just going to open a portal in the back of the cupboard. There's actually a little sliding door at the back. I can just open that, and creature, you can now go through that tunnel back to where you came from. Thank you very much. I don't need you anymore. Good, I've just shut that. Is there any use for this rather extraordinary cupboard? Is there anything more interesting in it that it would like to impart? Can I use it for something? I'm going to ask it. Ready to reveal that. 3, 2, 1, and I can put my sacred garments in it. All right then. Okay, so instantly I see a green silk, like silk satin, beautiful thick silk. Something is like a kimono folded up, emerald green, of course. And then there's a deliciously beautiful blue one, cerise pink, of course, gold, 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 as pure white. There's actually it's not black, it's like midnight blue. And a very thin, fine, very fine, tissue fine yellow one, like the kind of citrus yellow I adore so much, and a very, very pale rose petal pink, again, very, very fine. There is, that's glorious, a kind of a gossamer purple, no, more like a lilac, yeah, it's a lilac, that kind of soft blue pink, very, very feather-like gossamer. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Right, so these are robes that I can wear, and I can put them on. I'm just going to put that glorious, very, very light lilac. Oh God, that's gorgeous. It's that's the color I was working on the other night. In fact, it's like there is a turquoise. If you took a turquoise blue and a very beautiful pink and you added them together, you would get this sort of beautiful mauve kind of color, which is just glorious. And the way that this shimmering garment, it just slightly pulsates the color through it. So it's like the movement, you get a very, very fine silk, like a crepe de chine. But the color, because it's actually alive, it's like a live color. This is the kind of essence of color material that I actually have access to, my original soul essence. So I can actually put that on, and it's got like, it's quite funny. There are images in Chinese mythology, when you look at the pictures of how they would show their gods and goddesses or whatever, and they always had those kind of very curly, kind of moving fabric dresses that kind of curled through the air. I'm not sure if you've seen any of those images. It almost looked like they were kind of moving, like they had flight of their own. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to describe with this. It has a kind of living, breathing movement of its own to it. It has its own life force, in fact. And I just put that glorious piece upon me. And it's just, of course, it's just, it's just a heavenly kind of thing. It just means you kind of shimmer and move and glide, and it's just rather glorious. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm very much enjoying that. Very much. And that's going to be so lovely with my new lustrous hair. I'm very, very excited about that. Very excited about that. Right, now we still haven't got to 8 o'clock. I think we can close the cupboard. I can go to that cupboard, that glorious little golden cupboard, and get out any piece of beautiful garment I would like from there. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to number 9, to the 9 o'clock position in the room. When I turn, when I breathe, 3, 2, 1, we'll get there. Ready, and breathe, and 3, 2, 1, here we go, 9 o'clock. Oh, now that's that. There is in front of me a polished ebony skull. I think it's a skull. Let me just touch it. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. No, it's not ebony, it's obsidian stone, and it's like a crystal skull, but it's of obsidian stone. I say a skull, but it's sort of, all I can see really is the top of the cranium and the eye sockets, and then it seems to be just a sort of a lump, because I've never really liked those teethy bits. So it's like the eyes and the socket. It's just to represent, it's actually storage cabinet. No, it's a resonance storer for information. Okay, I'm just going to touch it, and we find out a little bit more about what it is. Ready, and 3. No, yeah, I'm actually going to keep the gloves on. I think it's a good idea, just in case. I like that. Ready, 3, 2, 1, touch. Malevolent Influences Dictionary. Well, that's a very interesting thing. Do I really need that? 3, 2, 1. Served as pattern maker and information for reference in case of. Do I actually need it? the thing is, having one of these means that you see situations with regard, okay, I see that there is a point to having this, because there is an awful lot of documentation which is coming out now on the planet of all the horrendous things which have been done to humanity and mankind, humankind, for millennia. And so, yes, it is important that that is stored. So let's just make sure it's stored on this piece of obsidian. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and now it's in there. Close off. Thank you. All of that information I have just let be released from every part of my body, and we're just going to do a closing thing to do that in a moment. But what's important to know is, if I need any of that information for any purpose, say in a conversation with someone to enlighten and clarify a situation, I can just go to it and access it. But the thing is, having it in my body is not a pleasant thing to be. You don't want pieces of, when I'm saying hematite, I'm saying obsidian, hematite. I don't know when there's a stone that's a mixture of the two. I'm not sure. But having that essence in your body is, you know, obsidian is a great stone. It absorbs all the darkness, and it's just, you don't want it in your body. So we're just going to do a transfer. We'll do the 11 down to 0 again. Just going to put all my fingers on it. We'll do a transfer to this skull stone, as it were, of all of that information that I have collected, which is very useful, but it is all very unpleasant. And we're going to just put it into that so that I can use it if I need it, access if I need it, but I'm not carrying it around with me. Ready? And 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. We just put a seal on it. Thank you. And my hands are just losing the last of that. I can just feel the tingle of that as that goes off there. Thank you very much. I think that's all I need to know. Is that I just put my fingers on one more time. Is there any more information that's useful for this? Okay, it's that I can access it any time, and what's happening is I've just actually touched the place on the on this skull thing, and I've just touched there, and what's happened is on my head in the corresponding place, it has just created like a fountain of information. So that's how easy it is to access. I could literally do it by touching a place on my cranium, and I would have access, or I can just make that connection mentally. Okay, thank you very much. Very useful. Thank you very much. Let's go to number 10. And I see it said diamond to start with. I'm not sure if it is a diamond. Let me just have a look. It looks more like a little piece of opal. A piece of opal in a shape of a diamond. Very nice. Okay, I feel like I really need to stop and make a pause because I need to go to the loo. So let's see if I can stop and come back to this in a moment. So it's useful. It's just so much easier with my eyes closed because then I can see clearly inside. So what I was getting hints of is this little cabochon of opal. It's like a little kind of inverted diamond shape with the curves convex like that, set into a little, I don't know, I think it's silver actually, silver setting. And it's got a little, actually very sweet, where those little convexes, they have a little cross, like a little kiss on each corner. It's a very beautiful fire opal, a bit like this in my ring. And what it was saying was, the first piece of information I got was education. But also I got this funny idea to stand on it, as though it would, you put it down on the ground and it becomes an expanded, like a little square you can stand on, and then you can kind of hold your own and, talk. But I'm just going to give it a touch and just see if we can find out some more information. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. it's quite a lovely thing. So when I touch it, what happens is the you know, the fire you get in an opal. Okay, so look at that. I don't know if the camera can see it from where I'm holding it like that. You've got that kind of dancing fire in an opal, and when I touched it, what happened was like these little filaments of fire, sparkle, rainbow color, because that's what they are, were just kind of bubbling out. And you know, it's just such a delight to be immersed in purity of color, because it's just pure frequency. It's just, you can't get more saucy than that. It's like spring rain on your face, that kind of delightful fine sprinkle of a very fine, high singing energy. And so it's a really beautiful thing. And what I've just seen is it's got at the back there's an attachment. It's like a necklace, so it's going to be like a necklace that I can put on. I might even ask someone to make one for me. We'll see. So I have one in physical form as well. But it's a necklace, and so I'm just going to pick it up. I just want to hold it in my hands and just check everything around the energy, because it's always really important to make sure this is only of pure good intent from my source essence being. Ready, 3, 2, 1, reveal yourself and tell me the essence of you and where you came from and what you are for. 3, 2, 1. Tool of light of my being that I've collected and kept for special adventures and journeys such as this one. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you. I will now put it on my head, and I now have various tools. I've got my little special egg. The egg, by the way, is like an enamel outside. Again, I'm going to have to draw these. I'll make some kind of design out of them, I think. So this beautiful little egg. I've got this extraordinary staff that can fold instantly back into my hand. And I have these beautiful garments that I can wear. So this glorious piece of floating glorious gauze of the lilac that I chose. And now I've got the, of course I've got, don't forget that, that's right, this extraordinary, the way this mitered hat filled into my head and enlivened and brought all that beautiful energy into my jaw, my teeth, and all of the follicles of my hair to create this beautiful, enlivened, sparkling, delicious, oh my God, I can't wait to have that kind of hair, yum. And now I've got this, so I'm collecting my tools. So how many have we got so far? We've got the egg, we've got the staff, we've got the pieces of clothing, we have the extraordinary hat, which is now in my mind, in my head. Oh my God, I nearly forgot the interesting obsidian skull, which is useful. And we have now this beautiful necklace. So that's now 6 that we have found, and got amazing tools. Thank you. So I've got that. That's great. Let's leave the number 9 and move on to number 10. Ready? Yes, was that? No, it is. I'm sure it is number 10, isn't it? Yes, ready, and no, you're saying we've already done number 10. Okay, so we move up to 11. Okay, ready, 3, 2, 1. So that's funny. 11, I see a pair of legs. Just going to put my hand out and find out, touch it, find out what it is, what its essence is. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Legs to carry me forward. Ooh, I know what that's about. That's for my hip and my legs. That was an element that had a bit of an energy freeze in it through some earlier parts of my life when some capture was tried to be attempted of me. It didn't succeed, but it did leave a little bit of a strain on some of my systems. So we can now bring in these, what I'm seeing on the top of these legs is it's not really legs, it's kind of more like a skeletal body of legs, but there are feet attached. And there's the hips, so the sort of curved hip joints. So I'm just going to touch this and find out if this is for strengthening my body, and what I thought is to incorporate that into, I just want to make sure this is not any kind of alien technology. This is from my essence, from my source being, from infinite creator. This is of goodness and love and purity and beauty. 3, 2, 1. I command you to give information as to your heritage, origin and use and purpose. 3, 2, 1. Crystalline entity created some time ago. It's a lattice framework structure. I'm just looking inside, and it is a kind of framework of a sort of green and blue crystalline structure. In fact, our bones are crystalline as well. That's just a special kind of crystal. But this seems to be like an etheric layer. The origin of this, please. I command you to give me this information. 3, 2, 1, and... I built it. Oh, how exciting. I built it somewhere in the past. On my planet, I built these things. I can build these things out of color crystallized light form. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Purpose. Give me the purpose. 3, 2, 1, and... For strengthening. Strengthening was another word. I'm getting elasticity. Is it true? Stability, strength, power. Okay, because with this kind of structure in your legs, it means you can keep going, you can be bouncy, you can jump, you can sprint, you can dance, you can jump, you can run, you can stand, you can lift. So it's about giving structural integrity of a higher essence. I just wanted just one more check of whether it's a really good idea now to incorporate this into my body. I now ask my inner being to give me this information. 3, 2, 1, now. Yes, I can step into these and bring them into my body and incorporate it and have a stronger, clearer, better structural framework for my body, for the limbs of my legs and my hips. Right, we're going to do the integration process, counting down from 11 to 0. Are we ready? Okay, ready. I'm going to hold them, bring them to me, ready, and 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, it's just hit my feet now. I can just feel the top of the arch of my feet and the top of the toes. That's just where it's sort of hooked into there, and just like little fine kind of filaments going into the toes. So let's just see if I can feel the full crystalline activation in my legs. I'm going to feel my way through the arch of the foot, the heel, the ankle, the shin, the knee, the kneecap, fibula and tibula, the femur, to the hip socket, and the pelvic region. Once I've counted down from 3 to 1 and click my fingers, that will be in place. And then we will go to the 12 mark of the room and then back into the center and see what else there is to do. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. Okay. So back to the 12. Is there anything else to get from the 12? That's where I first saw the image with the halo kind of head. I'm just going to go and have a look there if it's still there. We sort of shrunk it down. And the other thing that we did find was that tree So I'm just going to take, okay, let's have a look at that. First, the image with the halo thing. I'm going to sneeze. Interesting. I'll just touch it one more time. 3, 2, 1. Reveal your source and what you are, your identity, your true identity. 3, 2, 1. Yes, it's the alien tech, the mother implant. There is still that. It's useful and interesting, but I actually don't want it. So I just put that in that portal. I put it in that energetic cage for a while, but I think I just send it back to my mother. It might be useful to her. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, and okay. And then I'm just going to talk to that little tree, which looked like sort of divided like that. And then it had, I can't remember the word, it had something in the front, didn't it? I'm not sure I can see that word right now. Rapacha. Okay, let's just touch the tree. Let's find out what information it wants to give, because I didn't, it was the book, right, ready. And what information is there that is currently useful and interesting and appropriate to this question that I laid out from the very beginning. 3, 2, 1, and a little bit of process of integration as you bring in your new skills and tools and fun kit. You'll find the ability to talk and exchange with others far more easily. You'll also find the exchange of your radiation will have a larger impact on people as they are able to resonate with this color frequency that you're emanating. Everyone wants the rainbow. They will want this light. They are looking for it. In fact, they're looking for it. And now that you're radiating it as a strong beacon, they'll be able to find you and find it, and be able to interact with you and your offerings. And you'll find that you have a lovely kind of exchange beginning from this. We're going to be our little record keeping. It's like a clock. You can find all your information here about the process whenever you want to add any information. So just now, if you want to put all the processes you've just done, you can stamp it in, and it's time stamped into the book, reference point. You can find it whenever you want. And likewise, any other situations you may come across or create or adventure on, you can put into this book. The little tree is a symbol of the ever-growing essence of it. And now, of course, it's time to return to the center of the room. I look up, I see a night sky, this twinkling of bright stars against very dark night. If I turn 365 degrees, I can see all of the different tools around and available to me. The room now looks as though it's made of trees, which is interesting. Still that same sort of shape of a sort of circle. And thank you very much. And I will now come back into my full body presence. And with all the tools that I want, whenever I want, all of these tools I just found, I can access at any point in time, and just re-enter. And this is a place where I can add more tools, which may be useful, change out any, adapt or tweak any of them. So I will now leave, and I will just count. Yeah, we're going to do the 11, but this time I'll do it the other way around. We go from 11 to 1, and when I get to 1, we will be back fully present here. Ready? And 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that was fun. So yeah, let's do a few more of those. And contact me if you want to find out how to do that. I can give you some references to some brilliant people who will help you get clear enough to be able to do that. Oksana Buchanan is amazing at doing that. Afizia Lupino would also help you. It's a lovely thing to do, and you can't believe how much there is to explore and enjoy. So remember, you can create anything you want because you're a human being, and that's our right. And all the other people, not people, the other alien bodies that should have no business being here, they can't do that. So remember, you can, and start exercising that tool, and I will see you soon. Bye.